It's all about humanity.
And here we are again, people. Welcome in. I can see you all joining. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are coming in from. I'm Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master. This is the Bullish Bitcoin Show. Every Monday, every Thursday, 6 p.m. UK. Come and join us for bullish content. Today is Monday, the 3rd of March, 2025. And it is all going on, I have to say. Very quickly, don't come here looking for financial advice. You're not going to find it. Do your own research. No charts, no price predictions, no TA. It just isn't happening. If you want to support the show, there is a buy me a cup of coffee from anywhere in the world QR code. Today is episode number 700. This is live stream number 700. I cannot believe that. What a milestone. When I started out in April 2018, I thought I'll give it a bit of a go and see how I get on with it. And I cannot believe this is stream number 700. Absolute madness. Very quickly, if you're not following me somewhere else, I would encourage you to follow me somewhere else. I keep saying it all the time. This channel's been taken down once already. There is no reason it can't happen again. You'll find the link that will take you here down in the show notes. So go there. If you are not on the Orange Pill app, I would suggest you get on it. It is a global app for Bitcoiners. If you use my link in the show notes, they'll give you some free sats for joining. Absolutely great place to be. It really is. Show sponsors, the best of Exmoor, a holiday company here in the UK, down in what we refer to as the West Country. Exmoor National Park, 200 properties here, everything you could ever want, even down to pet-friendly swimming pool properties, ocean view properties, inland with beautiful walks properties. It's all there, so do scan the QR code and at least check it out. And when you're ready, sometime in the future, you can even buy your holiday by paying in Bitcoin. Okay, so back to me for a moment. Let's see who we've got in my chat. That is always so important to me. So who can I see? Chelsea Baz is with us. Dual screens. Press pause on that flipping Chelsea game. We're going to lose anyway, Baz. Only kidding, mate. Do what you got to do. JB Bitcoiners in the house. Magoo. Yeah, you speak out of your arse. Well done, you. Thank you for being here. Then come on the show and do it better if you wouldn't mind. That'll be really good. Okay, JB Bitcoiner, John G is in the house. BitcoinMeister is with us. Eddie Willers, Elaine, Mrs. UK. We've got Big G here, Johnny Midas. Good to see you, John. Janet Yellen's Liquidity is in the house. Mr. W, I've got to thank you because I hadn't spotted that the show was scheduled for 12 p.m. UK, which was 6 hours ago. So thank you for spotting that, mate. Really appreciate it. We got Vinny Rondo coming in from Staten Island and Barefoot Barry coming in from New Zealand. Barry, how you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. Big Mike in the house. Who else have we got? Yorkie Bitcoiner, Rocky Palumbo is with us. Great to see you all. Don't forget, smash the like button if you haven't done so already, because that really does help. Tweet this out or repost it, as it's now called on X, which to me is always Twitter and is always going to be Twitter. Do the necessaries, people. That's so important so that we can get more eyeballs on channels like this so noobs don't go and get wrecked. Okay, so I guess what we need to do is get on with the show. Did I say it's the 3rd of March? Yep, it's my kid brother's birthday, so happy birthday, bro, if you are watching, which you're probably not, but it is what it is. Okay, so a lot going on. For those of you that are in the know, you know everything that's been going on. So I guess I'm talking to those that are not aware of it. Now, I got a couple of negatives to start the show, so let's get into it. Right, firstly, I want you all to get something, and I'm there. I'm deep down that rabbit hole, and that is your security, your family's security should not, underline not, be based on Bitcoin's price today. You want to build that well before the drought comes, i.e., You want to have your security and your privacy locked down before your Bitcoin does what we on this channel are convinced it is going to do, because the physical attacks against Bitcoiners are surging, people, and you need to be aware of that. According to the archive maintained by security expert Jameson Lopp, a co-founder and chief security officer at CASA, over 200 known physical attacks against Bitcoin and crypto holders have been reported since 2014. In 2025 alone, 11 criminal incidents targeted holders, including Ledger's chief exec officer David Balland, as reported by CoinDesk on January the 24th. It is no good waiting until what you're holding that maybe you don't really believe is going to 100x over the next 10 or 20 years gets to that point. And then I don't fear for me. I fear for the fact that I've got a family around me, and that's where they always try and get you, whoever you are. So just be mindful of this, people, and lock down your security. For me, I've spent a couple of years going through all my social media, removing anything that is linked to me via email, telephone numbers, my surname, anything like that. Now, I'm sure there's something, but I've at least minimized that chance of them finding who I am, so to speak. So just be mindful. It is going on out there. What else? Well, we've got to mention this, haven't we? Every time Bitcoin takes a correction, he comes out of the woodwork and spews his rubbish. So this time, he's spewing out, as a long-term store of value and a gold merchant himself, this guy frequently defends his gold-selling business and thesis by debating against Bitcoin's merit regularly at events, televised interviews, and especially on X. And here's his latest tweet. I love the sound of Bitcoin crashing in the morning. Well, I bet he's not going to back that up now when we're just under 90k again, so 89. Look, Mr. Shifty Pete, if you haven't got already that in a bull run, Bitcoin corrects between 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a bull run, then I don't know. He's not stupid. This guy is not stupid. He knows what's going on. Okay, so I don't know what his game is. Well, maybe his game is for decades. He's had a gold business, and that's where all his money is. His clients are. I don't know. I would rather be the person that takes a step back. I'm a believer in how long do you keep going down the wrong road when you know it's the wrong road before you say enough is enough. I need to backtrack and get myself on the right path. And he's just not prepared to do that. And this is just my opinion. This guy is going to have major egg on his face down the road. He really is. Okay, we move on. So, if you heard the news yesterday, Trump came out and announced a strategic or a crypto reserve. And let's see who we named in that reserve. It says, it is unclear how the new stockpile will work. More information is expected on Friday when Trump plans to host the first crypto summit at the White House. In a social media post on Sunday, Trump said he has signed an order which directed the presidential working group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve that includes these 3 shitcoins. Okay. And that's effectively what they are. Go and look at the website that shows all the coins and how much of a pre-mine they had, how much of the insiders got their coins before it is launched to the public. They are not decentralized blockchains at all. They are pump and dump schemes, in my opinion. So just ridiculous why he's gone this route. But maybe there's something bigger at play behind the scenes. Maybe, just maybe, I've listened to some arguments from James Lavish earlier today and others. Maybe he doesn't want the world to know he is going to stack Bitcoin like a madman. Maybe. That's just a maybe. I'm not saying that is the case. And he wants to deflect it away while they stack. I don't know. But the interesting thing was, this tweet came out, and an hour later, He then tweets in another post, and obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum as other valuable cryptocurrencies will be at the heart of the reserve. Afterthought? Maybe somebody said to him, whoa, you haven't mentioned Bitcoin and that. And why ETH's in there, I don't know. I mean, the freaking thing's dying a death. Have a look at a chart I got to show you a little bit later. But here's the thing. According to Invest Answers and the figures he's looking at, we had the God candle yesterday. He says here the bottom was 85k. It just tipped top 90k. So there you go. There is one 10k candle. I think that was a 6-hour chart. Also, you've got this tweet from Watch Your Guru. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says a US crypto reserve with only Bitcoin is probably the best option. Now, this is the CEO of the biggest crap coin casino out there, Coinbase, as I like to call it, and yet even he is coming out and saying the only thing that should be in that reserve is Bitcoin. And it isn't a crypto reserve, it's a Bitcoin reserve. It needs to be a Bitcoin reserve. But you know what? What do I know? I'm just some guy from the UK that decided to fire up a channel 7 years ago and talk to people about Bitcoin. So what the heck do I know? But I do believe there's game theory going on in the background. I really do. And of course, then you've got, whoops, hang on, my technology just let me down. Then you've got Trump hosting his first White House crypto summit on March the 7th. So, you know, we don't know what that is going to be. What is that, Friday? Yeah, Friday. It says US President Donald Trump will host the first White House crypto summit on March 7, bringing together industry leaders to discuss regulatory policies, stablecoin oversight, and the potential role of Bitcoin in the US financial system. I think there's going to be more to play out here. The attendees will include prominent founders, CEOs, and investors from the crypto industry, along with members of the Presidential Working Group on Digital Assets, according to an announcement shared by the White House and crypto czar David Sacks in a March 1 post. The interesting thing is, I bet your bottom dollar, Ripple's CEO Garlinghouse is going to be there, and he actually donated almost $12 million to the Harris campaign in the run-up to the election. How interesting now that, you know, they're announcing that a crap coin like Ripple with billions of coins is going to be part of that flipping reserve. I'm fuming about it, but what the heck do I know? I could rant and you'll all go, what the hell's he going on about? Go and watch the show from Matt Cratter, Bitcoin University, from earlier today, because he so eloquently puts that what far better than I ever could. But what a crap coin casino is going on here. But you know what? Bitcoin doesn't need any of this. TikTok, next block, and I'm telling you now, in my opinion, and that's all it is, Bitcoin will eat the financial world over time. If you don't believe me, look at stuff like this. Bitcoin whales buying the dip. While weak hands, short-term holders that have no clue what they've bought, they just want to get rich tomorrow, are dumping their coins. You got the whales gobbling those coins up. 1.28 billion added below 90,000 in the dump of the last few days. So, you know, they know what's going on, and idiots that come in thinking they're going to get rich tomorrow have no clue, never learn anything, and then they dump out thinking they better get out before they lose all of their money. On-chain data shows the large Bitcoin holders are capitalizing on the lower prices as they have switched to accumulation again. According to data from the market intelligence platform Into the Block, the large holders are buying Bitcoin right now. Well, we know that. The on-chain indicator of relevance here is the large holders' net flow, which keeps track of the net amount of the asset that's entering or into or exiting out of the wallets associated with large holders. So, look, if you go down the rabbit hole and you do the proof of work, if you learn, I don't understand charts, technical analysis, none of it. But I know enough to follow people that do, and it helps me to learn stuff that at least I know to help me know that, the bag we're holding is the right bag. If you do that, you'll learn enough to understand that, whales are stacking and retail weak-hander plebs are selling. So that's all you need to know. Wealth Ranger, welcome to the show. Yeah, good to have you in the house. Smash the like button, people. Let's go back over to the desktop. Okay, here's this one. Arduino. This is I believe he's the CEO of Tether. One day USD Tether will be useless and the world will only use Bitcoin. This is Tether, who are gobbling up Bitcoin like maniacs right now. Speaking on the Bitcoin Italia podcast during the episode Forest or Anakin, the CEO of Tether stated, in the long term, USD Tether will be useless. The world will only use Bitcoin after the collapse of fiat currencies. He went on to say, quote, in the long term, I don't believe there is a future for Tether. I expect a financial reset where the national currencies will collapse and experience hyperinflation. Consequently, USDT will be completely useless. And at that point, I believe the world will only use Bitcoin. What else can I say to that? From what I've learned in 8 years, I believe that too. I believe that with every fiber of my body, that Bitcoin is going to eat the financial world. It is going to find its way into every orifice, every crevice of the world, and we'll live in a world where people will transact, buy goods and services, move around the world, and they won't even know they're transacting in Bitcoin. It will be the base layer. That's what most people will do. But the point is, my personal belief, and it's only a personal belief, each to their own. Maybe you want to put your belief in the chat there. I believe that Bitcoin, as who was the guy that I had on my show? Dear oh dear, is he from Swan? Guy's name's gone. Brandon Quittem. Brandon Quittem, he said, Bitcoin's like mycelium or fungus. It just creeps into everything, everywhere. And I believe that's what Bitcoin is going to do. Maybe I'm going to be wrong, but who knows? This guy tends to agree with me. Okay, you've got BlackRock are now going to allocate 2% of their model portfolio to Bitcoin ETF. They are expanding to hold Bitcoin outside of their ETFs, from what I can gather here. I guess a bit like companies that are, miners that are mining Bitcoin, but are now buying and stacking Bitcoin as a reserve asset. So BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager with over 10 trillion in assets under management, is incorporating Bitcoin into its own model portfolio. According to a Bloomberg report on the 28th of Feb, the asset manager will allocate 1 to 2% of its Bitcoin ETF, exchange traded fund, to target model investment portfolios. These allocations, sourced from the BlackRock iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF under the ticker IBIT, will be directed towards the company's portfolios that include alternative investments. They all know where this thing is going. All we have to do is watch what they're doing and just buy and hold our own keys. That is all we've got to do. That is all you've got to do. Just hold your own keys. Don't buy into these IOUs, because effectively all they are is IOUs. John M., good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming. Really appreciate it. Smash the like button, please. Okay, what else have we got? It goes on. Standard Chartered sees 500,000 Bitcoin target despite the brutal sell-off. Okay, so let's have a look. Jeff Kendrick, the head of digital asset research at Standard Chartered, no less, is quite bullish on Bitcoin's long-term outlook. In a recent CNBC interview, he noted that institutional acceptance and regulatory guidance are the significant factors behind the Bitcoin price increase. Kendrick has made a daring forecast of the possibility of Bitcoin soaring into the future. He predicts that Bitcoin will be trading at $200,000 by the end of 2025 and $500,000 by the end of Trump's term. Now, the end of Trump's term of clearly is 2028, and I think maybe he's right if you take Bitcoin's fair value. Now, we know that it can go down by extremes and up by extremes, but maybe in 2028, the fair value of Bitcoin is $500,000. Would you be happy with one Bitcoin at $500,000 4 years from now just for buying and holding? And I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you could also say some of the perma bulls will say, crikey, isn't he bearish? But, the reality is we might see 250,000 Bitcoin, 0.8 of a Bitcoin, 0.8 of a million, 800,000 Bitcoin, but maybe the fair value price of Bitcoin where we can be comfortable at is $500,000 a coin. That would certainly do me. Quote, that should add to the medium-term topside potential, which for me is Bitcoin up to 200K this year and 500K before Trump leaves office, Kendrick said. So, look, the fundamentals are strong. I know I'm preaching to the converted here. I know that. I know you are all, I won't say Bitcoin disciples, but take it loosely, you know what I mean. But I'm hoping that as these videos stand the test of time, that noobs will find them. And I'm talking to you noobs, albeit now in 2025 or at some point in the future. You just learn about Bitcoin and understand how it's like that mycelium. It is slowly eating into every crevice and every orifice in the world. Here's a tweet from Bitcoin Magazine. President Trump's crypto czar David Sachs says, I sold all my cryptocurrency prior to the start of the administration. Just a personal view, I don't believe him. Maybe he's moved it to a family member, but I don't believe him. Just saying. You got this one from Cointelegraph. Over the last 4 years, Bitcoin has had positive gains in March. So how do you think Bitcoin will perform in March? This is off the back of, I think, only the second worst February since Bitcoin came into existence. I think the worst was in 2014. I'm trying to see, was that a minus 31% in February? And then that year, you can see there was a lot of red during that year. Let's see. We are in a post-halving year, the final, bull run of a 4-year cycle. Maybe we will have a bad year. Maybe we won't have a bad year. But what do you think? I'd love to know what you guys think as to how 2025 is playing out. Of course, you got to remember, back in 2014, there were no banks, there were no institutions, there were no ETFs, there were no Michael Saylors. Now it was all retail. Now, retail is small fry compared to the nation states, the banks, the institutions, the Saylors, the Metaplanets and all the others. So, I just think it's going to be different, but that's just me. I'd love to know what you guys think. Here's another one from Bitcoin Magazine. Michael Saylor's strategy has outperformed Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, and Google over the last year because of Bitcoin. Forget all of them. What I want you to look at is MicroStrategy, or strategy as it's now called, on the left with those 165% gains. And then look at Microsoft minus 3%. And yet Saylor had a 3-minute window to try and get Microsoft shareholders to understand why they should put some Bitcoin in their treasury. And they laughed him out and threw it out. And it's like, the figures don't lie. The charts don't lie. And it's laughable, is it not? And I understand there's a process that corporations and public companies have to go through. And a lot of the times it literally is like done like robotically, and there's no, people saying, oh, we should consider it. in the early days. I don't know how I'm trying to put that. You guys that are in finance will understand what I mean, but there's a process before any company can put it on its treasury. So, but the interesting thing is, look at strategy compared to Microsoft there. Friggin' mind-blowing. And then this one from Bitcoin News. Do you think Bitcoin will surpass 5 trillion in total value transferred on the network in 2025? I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Again, look at 2021, we were 4.5 trillion. 2024, just under 3.5 trillion. Maybe if this bull run does what we think it's going to do, we're going to smash through 5 trillion. I don't know. Maybe put something in the chat. I'd love to know your views. And then this one from Hey Apollo. Look at Ethereum's price dumping consistently down and down and down and down. Its lunch is being eaten by the likes of Solana and others, even though I'm not a fan of any of them. I'm not saying they're not good coins. I'm simply a Bitcoin guy. The point is, they're putting this into that crypto treasury, and I just don't get it. I really don't. Again, what are your views? Put something in the comments, please. I just think it's absolute madness. I really do. But that's just me. Okay, here's the thing. Bitcoin is going to do what it's going to do, when it's going to do it, whether you or I get involved, don't, whether we stack, don't. Bitcoin over time is going to be the financial powerhouse of the world. It is going to be the world's money. Will I see it in my lifetime? I don't know. Will we see radical changes in 5 to 10 years? Most definitely. And with him upstairs allowing me to stick around another 10 years, then I'll at least see what that's all about. Okay. I found this quote. Success is what happens after you have survived all of your disappointments. Just think about that for a moment. There is no straight ride to success. It is bumpy. It is brutal in anything we do, whether it's trying to grow a business, build a family, stack and hold Bitcoin. There's no straight line to success, people. Success is what comes when we've dug in long enough to deal with all the disappointments, and yet nothing but nothing is taking our focus away. And that's the thought I would leave you with today. If you want to support the show, you don't have to, but some people want to. There's some Sats addresses. There's a buy me a cup of coffee address. You don't have to. I don't expect it. All I would say is please go into the show after the live stream has aired. Refresh your browser and leave a comment, because it does help. What else can I say? Retweet this, repost it on Nostr. It's gone up on Nostr. I've put the link on the UK Bitcoiners Orange Pill app. It's gone out there as well. It is up. It will go up on Rumble. It's on all the normal podcast platforms in a few hours from now, once I've done the editing. So, yeah, as Elaine rightly said, hit the like button, my friends. Would really appreciate it. So that's it. I'll be back on Thursday with another live show. Thank you all for tuning in for episode number 700. What a milestone. I keep thinking, will I make it to 1,000 in terms of, do I want to do another 300 live streams? We'll see. But at least we've hit a nice big round number, 700. So get in there for 700 shows. Listen, I'll catch you all on Thursday. Have a great week.
Bitcoin and things like it is the equivalent of the red pill.
This is a technology, it's a computing language.